My name is Fermin Cantu, Fermin Cantu, Cantu.
All right. And when did you enlist?
I enlisted in December of 1972.
Now, could you please provide your birth date?
I was born on November the 13th, 1954.
How old were you whenever you enlisted?
Oh, when I enlisted, I was 18 years old.
What did your family think about your enlistment, your decision?
Oh, it was great. They encouraged me, to enlist and to serve my country.
Had you heard of Korea before your enlistment? Did you know anything about it?
I didn't know nothing about it until I got there, and then I was in the Night Herc unit the first time. My headquarters was Pyeongtaek, and I was in the Night Herc unit, and we just did exercises and it helped out in that respect.
So, where did you land at whenever you arrived into Korea? What was your first initial impression of this foreign country?
Well, my first impression, it was not a country that was fully developed. Uh, I saw the South Korean people. They were working on their rice paddies and that kind of thing with oxen. They didn't have tractors per se that I saw, and but very hardworking people trying to improve their economy. You didn't have the big companies over there that you do now. In fact, they were looking for. They thought they were looking at the American products at that time. They thought that their products were a lot better than what they had at that time. But it's been turned around drastically, and that's all due to uh, uh, the South Korean and the American soldiers, the conflict that they went through to help that country be where they are today, and the infrastructure wasn't there like it is now, It's completely changed, completely different. Now we're looking at, you buy a refrigerator, you were looking for Samsung or LG, Honda products, Hyundai products, and this all came about because of uh, uh, the American soldier, the one especially in the conflict, which I was not a part of, but I'm honored to be a part of the organization.
So, I take it, have you been back to Korea since you left?
I haven't, but I've heard people that have gone and come back and say you won't recognize it anymore. It's really changed.
So, tell me a little bit about what you did in Korea. What was your job? What branch did you enlist into? What was your duties, your responsibilities?
Well, our duties was always to protect. We went to exercises like team spirit and that kind of thing. My MOS was in the food service field, and that's what I did, and try to help out in that respect.
What were your living conditions like as far as food, your sleeping arrangements,
Well, we
clothing?
had little the barracks at the time had two big diesel heater elements in there, if you will, and they were just barracks per se. We didn't have nothing elaborate at the time, but it was good.
How much were you getting paid? Probably about a month.
Ooh, it wasn't much. uh, Maybe between $800 and $1,000, I believe.
A month?
It wasn't much,
Mhm.
at the time. But
And tell me again what years you were in Korea?
I was there, like I said,
Mhm.
around 1974, and then I went back in the 1980s.
So you went twice.
Right.
Okay.
I've been there twice. The second time I was in Camp Casey in Tongdushan, and it was an armored unit, and there again, uh, uh, we had exercises and that kind of thing.
Were your duties much different than whenever you first went to Korea? I mean, how had things changed within those 6 or so years?
It changed a little bit. We still had a curfew that you couldn't stay out after 12 o'clock, or you couldn't get back on the base. And so everything was still intense. If you listened to the radio, you had to be a specific station. You couldn't get no station that might come, North Korea, that kind of thing. So they was really looking out for every little thing, and nobody can be on the streets after 12 o'clock and that kind of thing. So.
Did you exchange letters with your family and friends while you were fighting in Korea? Did you write any letters back and forth?
Absolutely. I would keep in contact with my family, and we would converse in that respect.
Do you still have some of those letters?
I do. My sister kept a lot of them.
Awesome. Awesome.
And a lot.
So how was your relationship with other foreign troops, including Korean soldiers?
We worked together with the Rock Army soldiers, and also with the Katusas, and we went on joint exercises with them, and that kind of thing, so we'd be more better prepared.
What were some of the most difficult or dangerous or happiest rewarding memories that during your duty?
The happiest memories, it was just, when I was able to just sightseeing and seeing the country, and it's a beautiful country, I remember one mountain that we went. It was like a mountain. They had a big Buddha Buddha shrine up there, and that was very interesting.
Were you ever in battle? Were you ever engaged in any of the battles, or were you ever wounded?
No, I wasn't in the battle. I was not in the conflict, but we just helped support. I happened to be there when Park Chung-hee passed away. He was assassinated, and that was a tense moment. But no, I was not in battle per se in the Korean War.
How did you feel after you came home from Korea? Both times. Had it changed your life or impacted you in any way?
Absolutely. After I learned the history of the Korean War and the Korean War veterans, it has impacted me significantly. Because he was a group of soldiers that went over there in 1950, 18 years old, and here come all this bullets coming at him, and it must have been very intense for him, and I have a lot of respect for him, and I'm honored to be able to help out in any way.
This is kind of a long question, but I feel like it's really important. In 2013, we witnessed the 60th anniversary of the armistice, which was signed by China, North Korea, and the UN on July 27, 1953. There is no war in modern history that lasted 60 years after an official ceasefire, and the mutual hostility among parties involved hasn't continued. What do you think we have to do to put a closure on it? Do you support a kind of movement to petition to end the war officially and to replace the armistice with a peace treaty?
Well, that's a complicated question. However, if anything like that was to happen, of course, North Korea would have to get rid of their nuclear weapons. That's bit. That they'd have to do that, and show that they're ready to negotiate by what they do. Of course, nobody likes to be in a prolonged war, but we also have to be careful of communism and to ensure that that's not going on. It has to be a democratic society between South and North. That was the two ever happened.
Do you feel that's important for your children and grandchildren and others to know the significance of the Korean War itself?
Absolutely. They need to know that. They need to know the sacrifice and what they did for that country. You know, it's just so much history. You know, with Japan, that Japan invasion, and then the conflict there. It's and the result of it, but for South Korea being better for it, you know, that is a war that was won in my eyes because of you can see the outcome of it, you know.
So how long was your service each time?
I believe the first time was like 2 years, and the second time was right at 2 years also. Yeah.
Do you have any personal stories or memories or anything from your duties there in Korea?
Well, I had two of my children that were born there, so that was significant. I've got a family there as well, so that's good memories, you know. But it's just like I say, you know, it's just an honor to be a part of this organization and help out in any way I can, you know.
Would you say that the conditions were either the same or maybe better or worse than that of what they were in 1950 to 53?
Oh, absolutely.
How had the conditions probably changed from what you saw in the experience?
When I was there, I mean, you didn't have the products there that you have now, and Samsung. I mean, they control 50% of the economy over there, you know, and they're just doing so well. We're trading with different countries that they weren't able to do before, you know. It's just it's a good thing to see, you know.
Do you have any messages to younger generations or maybe some insight of the Korean War that they should know about?
I think they should know the history of it, and like the Tell America program, it's great to let the younger generation know what transpired in that war and what they did for South Korea to accomplish what they've been able to accomplish, you know. For example, they had so many battles there that they had one battle that I believe it was the Nam River that lasted 55 days, and 10,000 soldiers died in that one battle, you know. And it's just so many stories that they could the history tells us, you know, that they need to know about it, have a better appreciation of the Korean War veterans, you know.
Can you tell me a little bit of what the Tell America program is?
Basically, we're going to the schools, get permission from the principal to be able to talk to the students and give them a history of the Korean War before and after, and the different conflicts that they came across. The people that they helped, you know, especially the young children that their mother and father got killed, and they were just there on the street, and the American soldiers were able to police them up, feed them, and give them a chance at a better life, you know.
After your duty, did you go back to school, further your education along with your GI Bill?
I did.
Mhm.
I went back and I got my associate's degree, and then I continued my education with Tallinn State University, and I got my bachelor's degree.
Are there any last comments or memories or stories that you would like to show to go along with your legacy?
Uh, it just trying to at this point trying to help the Korean War veterans in whatever assistance that they might happen to need. You know, the one issue that comes to mind right now is we need to have more VA contracted nursing facilities throughout the United States. They end up having to go to a specialized skilled nursing facility, rehab, they call it skilled nursing rehab / nursing facility. And they're there a few months and then you hear that their Medicare ran out. I said, well, how can Medicare run out, you know? But it does if it's not VA contracted. So Medicare Part A pays for room and board, and Medicare Part B, of course, pays for physical therapy. But at between $155 to $240 a day, it gets pretty complicated. And some of these facilities are facilities that they is specialized and they need that facility, but yet we got to find a way of assisting them or making them VA contracted facilities to help the veteran, and we're trying to do that.
On more of, like I said, personal or your opinion, what do you think makes North Korea so threatening to South Korea? Why? I mean, why are there so many issues in your opinion? I mean, is there anything that we could really do to help try to resolve those? I know I kind of sort of asked this question already, but
Nothing can really. I don't think nothing can be resolved until they tone down the rhetoric about their nuclear weapons and the disarmament and that kind of case. We're always vigilant and always will be. You know, for example, in 2010, you know, they had that ship that was downed by North Korea, and then here's what, just a year or two ago, they fired on an island, you know, in South Korea. So that was that was an eye opener. You know, we have to be more vigilant. We have to be prepared at all times, which is what. Even though there's service members that were not in the conflict is still there, you know, and we always have to be vigilant of that, which is what we're doing is protecting South Korea and their values, that kind of thing on that.
all right. You got anything else for me? I mean, you can tell me about a little bit more about what you did, or maybe some of the friendships that you made. Or, I mean, do you still talk to anybody that you were in service with? Make any long-lasting friendships or anything like that?
Well, over the years, you know, you try and keep in touch with them, but sometimes you're not able to. But the biggest thing is just to continue the legacy of the Korean War veteran and just let people know the history of it and what was accomplished, you know.
What do you think about the Korean War Legacy Foundation, the digital memorial that we're working on?
It's great. It's great. I mean, that's a way of people being able to see the stories of the Korean War veterans and say, wow, that happened, you know, and they never realized that 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 happened. They went through that, you know, and there's a lot of stories out there, and they should tell it. They should tell their story, you know. And y'all, that program is bringing it out, and we need to know that. And I mean, I applaud the program for that. You know, I think it's great.
Thank you. So, do you think that it's a good idea? It's important for descendants of Korean War veterans to really kind of kick this off and get it launched and really get the word out of there. I mean,
I think
do you
so,
think it's
yes.
a better angle to come in with descendants of Korean War veterans to
Yes.
take on this task?
Absolutely. I think that it needs to continue on. Yes, absolutely. And I think they can do that.
Awesome. And I see that involved in the Korean War Veterans Association. Can you
Yes.
tell me what chapter you're with? And
My chapter's in Killeen, Texas, chapter 222. And we also do things there locally to look out for the veterans. And we have a camaraderie there. And it's just great to be a part of that organization.
well,
It really
awesome. Well, thank you so much for your service and your sacrifice. Even though you weren't there for 50, to 50 to 53, your
Absolutely.
contributions are still what have put Korea where they're at today.
Absolutely.
So, awesome.
The Korean War veterans that were in conflict, I tell you, if they were in the conflict, they deserve all our praise and honor for what they did. It was really an intense. Every war is, you know, but they were no exception.
It has really
it
taken
was a hard
every-
war, a hard-fought war. People need to know that, you know, and you're bringing it out, and we appreciate that.